everyone. So this is our last Google Meet for this school year. And we have now our last module for the learning activity sheet number 4 for the fourth quarter, English 7, where we are going to discuss 4 types of essays and difference between formal and informal language. Okay, so let's begin with the 4 types of essay. By the way, what is an essay? So generally, it is a short piece of writing. Short piece of writing. Sometimes it is called text or paragraph. And it is one of the genres of literature. Okay, we have different types of essay. Actually, there are many, but I'm just going to discuss the 4 major types because these 4 are included in the activities 1 and 2 in your learning activity sheet. Okay, so again, 4 major types of essays only. The first one is narrative. We have descriptive, expository, and persuasive. So let's begin with narrative essay. Narrative essay from the word narrate, which means tell. Okay, in narrative essay, the writer tells a story about a real life experience. Okay, so meaning it is non-fiction. Okay, non-fiction because the writer is telling his own story. But it can also be a fiction. The writer can use his real name or the real names of his friends, but he can change the events of the story. Okay? So when writing a narrative essay, writers should try to involve the reader by making the story as vivid as possible. Vivid means clear as possible. So here on the left side, you can see the different ideas that you can include in your narrative essay. It can be the best day in your life, the first day at school, conflict with a friend, special family holiday, the first ride on a bike, or the most favorite book. Okay, so again, narrative essay, the writer is telling a story about a real life experience. Next type is descriptive essay. So descriptive essay strives to communicate a deeper meaning through the description. No? Descriptive, from the word description. The writer he is using different colorful words, adjective words, describing words. Kasi tinawag na descriptive essay because the writer is describing something. In descriptive essay, the writer should show, not tell, through the use of colorful words and sensory details. Remember in the third quarter lesson natin, one of the lessons there was sensory imagery, where we discussed the 5 senses: smell, touch, taste, sight, and sound. So here in descriptive essay, the writer should use different sensory imagery in his essay. Kaya the writer should show the reader should visualize or imagine or should be imaginative or use his or her imagination to understand what the writer of descriptive essay is telling in the story or in the essay or in the paragraph. Okay? So the best descriptive essay appeal to the reader's emotion with the result that is highly evocative. So when we say evocative, brings strong emotion, brings strong images. Okay? So again, the reader of descriptive essay must be able to visualize or imagine what he is reading in the descriptive essay. So the writer of descriptive essay should use different words that can describe the smell, describe the taste, describe the touch, the sight, and sound. Okay, so that is descriptive essay. The writer is describing something. Let's say, for example, the topic in descriptive essay is Philippines is a beautiful country. So the writer should use different colorful words or describing words to describe or to show that Philippines is really a beautiful country. Okay? So the reader should or can or will be able to imagine how beautiful is Philippines by the words used by the writer. of descriptive essay. Okay? So again, descriptive essay, the writer is describing something. Okay, next is expository essay or expository text. Okay, expository texts are non-fiction selections that give information and facts about real topics. So it is an informative piece of writing that presents a balanced analysis of a topic. The writer explains or defines a topic using facts, statistics, and example. So expository essay, the goal of the writer is to give an information, okay, to the reader. And that information must be provided with the facts or with the evidences, proofs, and references. No? So the writer should provide evidences, proofs of references that what he is telling in the essay is really true or a fact. Okay? So again, expository essay, the writer is giving an information. So example topics in expository essay, let's say for example, showing comparison and contrast essay. Let's say for example, the similarities and the differences between Pfizer vaccine and Sinovac vaccine. Okay, so that is an example of expository essay. Or the cause and effect essay. Example, the causes and effect of COVID-19. So that is an example of expository essay. And the how-to or process essay. Let's say, for example, how to prevent COVID-19. Okay, so that is an example of expository essay. So again, the writer of expository essay is giving an information and he or she must provide evidences, proofs, or references that support the information he is giving. Okay, so it's all facts and non-fiction. And the last type of essay is persuasive. Persuasive essay. We use persuasive writing to share our point of view with others. We want the reader to agree with us. I know that you are familiar with this one because we discussed this during the third quarter. No? Remember, by sharing the opinions, sharing assertions, diba? We included this persuasive writing. So the goal of the persuasive essay is to convince the reader, to encourage the reader to accept the writer's point of view or recommendation. So writer must build a case using facts and logic as well as examples, expert opinions, and sound reasoning. Do not be confused between expository and persuasive because they are both giving information. But you can notice that in persuasive writing or in persuasive essay, the writer is trying his best to convince you or to encourage you to believe with what he is saying. Okay? To accept his opinion, to agree with him by giving many examples or reasons or expert opinion. Okay? So the writer should present all sides of the argument, but must be able to communicate clearly and without equivocation why a certain position is correct. So again, persuasive essay, the writer is trying to convince or to encourage the readers to believe with what he or she is saying. So those are the four types of essay. Again, the four major types of essay: narrative, telling a story; descriptive, the writer is describing something or puts a picture in the reader's head; expository, the writer is giving an information, a fact, explaining something; while persuasive, the writer wants the audience or the reader to agree. Okay, he is convincing the reader to agree with his side. Now, I'm going to show you different examples of essay, and I want you to identify what type of essay is it. Diyan, Kian, may I request you to please read the first, ano na ba yan? The first example here,
Sige po, ma'am.
yan yung color blue na screen.
Okay po. Hymenopus coronatus. The orchid mantis is a remarkable creature. Against any opponent but a careful entomologist with a cardboard box. The mantis is a little hunter and master of camouflage. Its four front legs, head and thorax, are covered in delicate structures resembling colorful flower petals. In appearance, it looks like nothing so much as a praying mantis covered in a beautiful painted fans.
Okay, thank you so much, Ian, for reading it very clear. Okay, now, what do you think? Oh, type nyo na lang sa chat box yung answer nyo, ha? Sa chat box ako titingin. What do you think? What type of essay is it? Okay, is it declarative? Is it narrative? Sorry, persuasive, expository, or descriptive? See here that all of you answer descriptive. Very good. Okay, your answer is correct. You're right. This is an example of descriptive essay. Okay? This is an example of descriptive essay because the writer is describing the orchid mantis, which is called Hymenopus coronatus. Okay? So he is using different colorful words so that the reader can imagine what does it look like. So we can imagine what does this orchid mantis look like through his words. So this is an example of descriptive essay. Okay, for the next slide, may I request from the girls naman. May I request Sophia Lorraine? Sophia Lorraine, is your mic? Okay.
Yes
Okay.
po.
Okay, would you please read the next essay?
In elementary school, I had many experiences that garnered memories. I was often bullied on the playground during recess. Because of my skinniness and height, the larger boys saw me as a target for their ego. To inflate, they might have had problems at home or were bullied themselves and were projecting their frustrations on me.
Okay, thank you so much, Sophia. Okay, it's very clear. So here, what do you think? What type of essay is it? You see the chat box? Ay, ang dami na palang sumagot. Okay. So, everybody answered narrative. Okay, very good. So, this is an example of narrative essay. Because the writer here is sharing his or her experience during elementary years, no? So, this is a narrative essay telling a story. Next, for the next slide, may I request from the boys naman. Meron bang gusto mag-volunteer? If you want to volunteer, pwede. Ayun, Anthony Albert. Anthony Albert, you're raising your hand. So, what's na yun? Would you please read?
The first reason why you should eat breakfast before going to school is for your health. When you skip breakfast and go to school, you are looking for a disease because it's not healthy to have an empty stomach all day long. It's very important to have a meal and not let your stomach work empty. All you are going to get is gastritis and a lot of problems with your health if you don't eat breakfast.
Okay, thank you so much, Anthony, for reading that well. Okay, so what do you think, class? What type of essay is it? Let me see our chat box. Okay. Parang iba-iba yung sagot nyo ah. May persuasive, may expository. Oh, medyo confusing kasi yung dalawa, no? Yung persuasive saka expository. But remember the difference between the two. In expository, the writer should provide the facts, the evidences, and proof to support his statement. While in persuasive, as a reader, we can feel that the writer is trying to convince us or encouraging us to believe with what he is saying. Okay? So, nahati yung sagot ninyo. May sumagot ng persuasive, may sumagot ng expository. But the correct answer there is, it is a persuasive essay. Okay? It is a persuasive essay. We can see here that the writer is convincing us that eating breakfast before going to school is very important, no? He or she gave us different reasons why. Why should we eat our breakfast before we go to school? What would happen to us if we do not eat our breakfast before going to school? So, nagbigay siya ng mga reasons and examples. So, this is an example of persuasive essay. For the last sample here, may I request from the girls? Any volunteer from the girls? Okay, medyo malaki. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes po, ma'am.
Samantha? Okay.
There are many
Please start.
breathing and posturing techniques you can use to get rid of makeup. Most of the techniques
Hiccups.
are easy to do according to Healthline. There are physical methods of when cautioning your up. Practicing slow breathing, holding your breath in for a while, breathing into a paper bag, having your knees for 2 minutes while sitting down, pressing your chest barely in your bending forward, and completing the Vosov maneuver as started by Healthline. To do is maneuver, try to exhale while pinching your nose and keeping your mouth closed.
Okay. So, medyo nag-struggle yung microphone ni Sam, no? Pero we understood, Sam. Thank you so much, Samantha. So, this is an example of... Okay, very good. I can see that all of you answered expository. Okay, that is correct. This is an example of expository essay. No? We can see here that the writer is giving us an information of the different techniques.
May
Different
source din
techniques.
po, ma'am.
Opo, to use get rid of hiccups. And merong reference na binigay. Where did he get that information? Ito nakalagay yung how to get rid of hiccups, 26 remedies that can actually help. Okay, so nagbigay din siya ng mga examples how to do that or techniques. Okay, so we're done with the 4 types of essays. Before we proceed to formal and informal language, do you have any question regarding the 4 types of essays?
Ma'am,
Yes, Salvador?
yung doon po ba yung sa isa po, bakit po naging persuasive po yun?
Itong sa ano, wait lang, balikan natin. Ito, yung the first reason why you should eat breakfast.
Opo.
Okay, it is persuasive because we can feel here that the writer is convincing us that we have to eat our breakfast before going to school. He or she even provided the different reasons why we should not skip our breakfast. What will happen to us? And then, nagbigay siya ng cause and effect, no? Cause
Pero
and effect.
nagkaroon ma'am sa expository po eh. Kapag
Para, para
Kaso
siya,
po, ma'am, yung reference po, ma'am.
opo, yun ang difference. Very good. Di ba dito sa expository natin, nag-provide ng reference saan niya nakuha yung information na yan na these are the techniques that we have to do to get rid of hiccups. So, binilagay ng author o ng writer yung reference kung saan niya nakuha yung information na yan. Unlike dito sa persuasive, it is an own points of view of the writer. Ito ay based on sa kanyang observation, based on sa kanyang nag-gather na data, pero hindi siya nag-provide saan niya nakuha yung information na yon. That if you do not eat your breakfast, you will have gastritis and a lot of problems with your health. Di ba hindi niya in-include? So yun yung difference between expository and persuasive.
So, lahat po ng expository po, may sources po dapat.
Opo, yun. Very good. Tama. Very good observation. Yun nga dapat. Lahat ng expository, kailangan nandoon yun. Saan niya kinuha yung information na yun? O kaya pag nagbanggit siya ng according to, tapos may binanggit siyang person. Yan. That is example of, ito, meron pala rito, according to Healthline. Yan. Pag in-include niya kung sino yung nagsabi ng statement na yun, that is an expository essay. Okay, may mga binabanggit siyang references, evidences, and references. Okay? So, okay na tayo doon, Salvador?
Okay na po.
Okay, let's proceed now to our next topic, which is also included in your learning activity sheet number 4, the difference between formal and informal language. Okay, let's begin with formal language. So, formal language is less personal than informal language. is when writing for professional or academic purposes, like school assignments. Okay, if you were asked to submit a paper or an article or paragraph or a story, an essay, you should use formal language. Okay? But for you can use informal language on the right side. Informal language is more casual and spontaneous. It is used when communicating with friends or family, either in writing or in conversation. So again, we use formal language for academic purposes or let's say for job requirements. But if you are just going to submit a paper for your friends or family or someone who are close to you, someone who is close to you, so you can use informal language. So another difference, formal language does not use colloquialism. So when we say colloquialism, slang words or yung salitang kalye, okay? Formal language does not use colloquialism. Contractions. When you say contractions, yung mga words na shortcut. Like for example, could not, ginagawang couldn't. Was not, ginawang wasn't. Yung because, ginawang cause. Okay, so you should not use those contractions if you are writing a formal and you are using formal language. While in informal, it is used when writing personal emails, text messages, in some business correspondence, the tone of informal language is more personal than formal language. Here on my next slide, you can see when we use formal language and when do we use informal language. So again, on the first column, formal language, when you are communicating with someone that you don't know very well, like your teachers, principal, professor, or let's say, for example, you're working, your manager, yeah, someone that you don't know very well. So we can use the formal language with business emails, academic writings or articles, professional academic situations, presentations or reports. Yan, when you are reporting, di ba sa research subject nyo, nagre-report kayo? So you should use formal language pag nagre-report kayo sa school. Public tenders, official documents, and talking to superiors. While informal language, situations that are more relaxed and that involve people that you know well or know each other well, like your family, your friends or close friends or yung mga barkada nyo. So we can use that for some business correspondence, in everyday conversations, personal emails, social media, advertising, spontaneous speech, text messages, and talking to peers. Okay, so on this next slide, you can see the structure of sentence, the difference between the structure sentence of informal and formal. On the first column, these are the examples of informal language sentences, while on the second column, we can see the examples of formal languages. Okay, so for informal, let's start with the first sentence. Lara got the names mixed up. So the word mixed up is colloquial, no? The words mixed up is colloquial. So we can use that for informal. So to make it formal, we can use the word confused. So instead of saying Lara got the names mixed up, for formal, we should say Lara was confused with the names. Okay? So we better use confused if it is formal. Next, it was raining cats and dogs. So usually we can hear this statement when the rain is when there is heavy rain. Okay, when there's a heavy rain, di ba? Nasasabi yan ng mga tao, oh, it was raining cats and dogs. So we can use that in formal language if we are with our family or with our close friends. But let's say you are in school, you are in an office, you are in a private agency. So you should say, it was raining heavily instead of saying, it was raining cats and dogs. Okay? So for the last one, ito yung example ng contractions. No? So for informal, Uncle Ben isn't happy. Yun yung contraction, yung isn't. So for formal, it should be Uncle Ben is not happy. Okay?
Parang
So when you are writing an article or an essay or a story which is a requirement in your school, avoid contractions. Teka lang, may narinig akong, Salvador, ikaw ba yun?
ma'am ano
Salvador?
ma'am, paano po kapag parehas pong ginamit yan po sa isang sentence po, anong pong tawag dun?
O di mix yon. Kaya nga, you should be aware what is the difference or the structure that you have to use when you are writing a formal or informal letter. So if it is an academic requirements, you should use formal. Kaya avoid using this, no? Avoid using this informal. Avoid using these structures. Diba yan yung mga idioms? Avoid using idioms when you are writing a formal essay or formal letter. Avoid using idioms. So this is an example of idioms, no? So, ano pa? It must be clear. Kaya ito dapat yung gagamitin mo. So, like
Ma'am,
this one.
maigsi po kasi 'pag sa informal po 'pag isasama sa formal, so iigsi po siya 'pag ilalagay sa presentation po.
How can we know naman po, ma'am, if colloquial yung words po na ganun po?
Oo, kaya you should search for that. What are the different examples of colloquial words? And dapat maging aware kayo kasi siguro some of us, we do not know na, ito pala, hindi pala pwedeng gamitin yung it was raining cats and dogs kasi naririnig mo rin siya sa ibang tao, no? So, akala mo okay lang yon. Pwede mo siyang gamitin if you are with your family or friends daw. But if you are in your school, you're talking to your boss, you're talking to your manager, you're talking to your teacher, you should use this one, yung formal way, no? Kaya you have to make a research what are the different colloquial words. Yan, para aware kayo kung kailan nyo lang siya gagamitin. Okay? So, I have here my very short activity. I will call somebody again. Wait lang, let me explain first. On the first column, you can see here the examples of informal. Itong column A, informal language. And column B, we can see here, these are the examples of formal language. So we're going to match the informal language. Wait lang po sa ito. We're going to match this informal language or sentences here to the formal languages here in column B. Okay? So let's begin with number 1. Wait lang tingnan ko muna yung chat box natin. Ayan, wala pa na kasi. Okay. So, pwedeng i-type nyo lang yung letter in the chat box. Pwede rin naman gumamit ng microphone. Okay, number 1, let's get going. So, this is informal. So, what is the proper way or what is the formal way of saying this one? Let's get going. Okay? Pwede nyo ilagay yung letter ng answer nyo sa chat box or if you want to use your microphone, sige, pwede rin naman.
Letter C po, ma'am.
C po, ma'am.
Okay.
Letter C po.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Your answer is letter C and that is correct. No? So, let's get going is informal and the formal way of saying that is we should leave now. So, that is correct. Letter C. Next, number 2. That's dope. So, that is informal. What is the formal way of saying that word? That's dope. So, number 1. But when you see someone or a group great performance, some people use that word, so that's dope. Letter E. Okay, that is remarkable. Instead of saying that's dope, that is remarkable, no? Yung natuwa ka sa performance niya. That is remarkable. Yan. Okay, so for number 3, hold on, I got a P. So that is informal, no? You can say that or you can use that with your friends and with your family. Batang tayo. Okay, number 3, letter A. Very good. Yung mga sumagot sa number 3 ng letter A, I need to use the restroom. Okay, instead of saying, hold on, I got a P. And for number 4, nagmamadali kayo. Sige, number 4, the song is lit. What is the proper way or the formal way of saying that one? The song is lit. So, balik ka na. Okay, letter F. Very good. So, your answer is letter F. The song is beautiful. Okay, tingnan ko ngayon. May sumagot na agad ng number 5. Ano sagot ko sa number 5? Letter B. Tingnan nga natin. Kasi there are two options left. Number 5, he was shook. Okay, tama kayo. He was surprised. Yan. So instead of saying he was shook, he was surprised. No? Yung he was startled. Yung nagulat siya. Nagulat siya doon sa nakita niya. So he was shook. Natulala. Yung parang ganyan. So that is, he was surprised. Okay, so very good. You know how to identify the formal way of saying the specific or certain informal language. So we're done already with my PowerPoint. I'm going to show you now our learning activity sheet number 4. Activity 1, write the word true if the statement is correct and false if it is incorrect. Okay, so this is all about the 4 types of essay. The statements here are all about 4 types of essays. So again, write the word true or false. Not letters, ha? Again, following directions is always a part of the test. Di ba ganyan yung ibang students? May sabing, write true or false, nilalagay T or F lang nilalagay. Mali na yun. So, you should follow directions, no? Kahit tama yung sagot mo, but you do not follow the directions, mali ka pa din. Okay? So, in activity number 2, letters only. Write letter N if the paragraph or the essay is narrative. Letter D if it is descriptive. Letter E if it is expository. And letter P if it is persuasive. 2 points each yan ha. Pati yung kanina, yung activity 1. 2 points each yan. Okay, activity number 3, you're just going to identify the emotion. What do you think is the emotion or the feeling of the speaker when he is saying this statement? So,
Every
kayo na,
every dialogue po ba yan, ma'am, lalagyan?
opo, kaya lalagyan mo dito student A. Let's say for example, happy, student A. Kaya lagyan mo, copyin mo yung eksaktong bilang dito ng student A, student B. Kasi walang numbers eh. So lagay mo student A, example, happy. Student B, sad. So feelings or emotion yung ilalagay nyo. So there are some examples here below in activity number 4. Excited, sad, nervous, disappointed, proud, shy, pwede nyo dagdagan like worried, confused, ano pa, surprised, yan. Any emotion that you think is appropriate to this statement.
Ma'am?
Okay? Ayan, John Kian is raising his hand. John Kian, would you please read this in a happy way? Number 1.
How do you do?
Yan. Nafe-feel niyo yung emotion ni Kian when he read that. No? Talagang parang na-imagine ko na nakasmile si Kian while he is saying this. How do you do? Happy. Okay, for number 2, excited. May I request, yes, Hiroki. Number 2, excited.
What a
Hiroki.
pleasant surprise.
Sorry, na-interrupt kita. Sorry, ha. Okay, again, Hiroki again.
What a pleasant surprise.
Okay, very good. No? Excited. Parang, di pa na-excite ka, tapos sumisigaw ka, no? So, that's correct. So, what a pleasant surprise. Excited siya sa surprise there. Okay, thank you, Hiroki. And another one from the girls, Ginabong. Angeline, is your microphone working?
Opo.
Sige, number 3, anak. Sad.
I failed the test.
Yun, very good, no? So, we can feel that she is really sad because she failed the test. Okay, so number 4. For number 4, hindi kayong mag-raise yung hand nyo. Yan, Sophia. Sophia, number 4.
Good morning.
Yan, excited. Thank you so much, Sophia. For number 5, Samuel. Samuel Neil, for number 5.
My mother will get mad.
Okay, so we can feel here that he is nervous because maybe he did something wrong that his mother will get mad. Okay. For number 6, disappointed. Disappointed. How do you say that if you are disappointed? Sino pa yung iba? Wala, hindi nag-raise ng hand yung iba. Sige, si John Kian ulit. John Kian? Disappointed.
I did not make it.
Hiroki, would you please read number 7? Proud.
The test was very easy.
Okay, yan, no? Parang perfect, alam na siya. Sure na siya na perfect makukuha ng score. Kaya proud. Okay, number 8, may I have from the girl, Sophia? Sophia, number 8.
We will be leaving this town soon.
Okay, so mamimiss mo yung mga friends mo, kaya ganun yung tone sad. And for number 9, Samuel. Number 9, Samuel Neil.
Hello.
Excited.
Hello.
Ah, imagine din mo may kaharap kang baby kasi nakalagay tayo, hello to a newborn baby. Yung, di ba pag yung baby yung kausap mo, yung parang, paano ka magsalita? Baby. Sige, isa pa nga, Samuel.
Hello.
Yeah, parang ganun, hello. Di ba parang ginagano mo yung baby, hello. Di ba ganyan? Kasi baby yung kausap mo, tapos they are excited. Okay, thank you, Samuel. And for the last one, number 10, sino pa yung hindi ko pa, yung, si Salvador kaya. Salvador, would you please read number 10?
Ah,
Number 10, anak.
good morning, ma'am.
Wow, galing. Okay, very good, Salvador. Talagang parang na-feel natin na nahihiya yung boses ni Salvador doon. Okay, thank you so much for those who volunteered to read these statements. The number 5, letters only, you're just going to write letter F. It is showing formal language, and IF if it is showing informal language. So letters only. So again, for this learning activity sheet number 4, we're just going to answer activities 1, 2, 3, and 5. Skip number 4. Okay, hindi na sasagutan yung number 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 only.